Right, turn 15 of this 80 turn mammoth battle. And again, he started off with a I'm going to fire every single gun at every single gun you have on the front line. He had to go at these troops as well as here. I sort of left them out in the open a bit, but I had to clear that space for that battery. Forgot about them last turn. That's my own fault, so I'm going to bring them back out the way. A little bit of skirmishing there. It seems to be he's taking his skirmishers and that light infantry back again. They have been harassing me. They've not been annoying me as such, but they have been harassing in and around Eylau all the time. What we did notice though is some cavalry and yet more guns, so that might change our plan a little bit. Or the plan was, I suppose, to push forward until we found the Prussians, but there seems to be an awful lot of Prussian cavalry. Some dragoons there. What else have we got? Some Cossacks, lancers, so wide and varied. Yeah, so there seems to be a lot of cavalry coming my way up in the north. It is quite good cavalry ground actually. However, I don't know what he's going to do with it. If he comes to me, I'm better off sticking at my side of the river. Just because I won't be disrupted by what's at the river. I don't know, we're going to have to wait and see what he does with that. Got some nice hussars up there. And also I've got some dragoons and the Koenigs guys. Do have the heavy cavalry, but I don't have a lot there. These are my reserve cavalry for anything that happens in the centre, and the rest of them I've sent down south. So I'm still sticking with that to try and roll up that Russian centre. But it's not late to change the plan, but I think I've got enough there to try and deal with this cavalry. Hopefully get some artillery set up maybe and use that infantry, maybe press them northwest just to try and deal with it there, and bring possibly some cavalry up here. I mean, this cavalry here, I'm not really going to do anything with it here. A big wide open space there. So yeah, it's a thinker. I'm going to have a think about that and see what I'm going to have to do with it. Adapt and prevail, that's what they say, so I'll think of something to adapt. Down in the south with the cavalry, he started pulling away with his cavalry down here, which is good for us. We had a few decent opportunity fires on those guys there, those hussars that found themselves right next to the front line. Those guns kicked in as he moved away, and we took a good sort of 40-50 as I remember correctly. We did get fired on from these guns, so I'm going to have to pull these chasseurs back. I'll just do it anyway now, down here. And he took over some skirmishers here. He charged some skirmishers. I'm not entirely sure where his leader is. He certainly wasn't with his cavalry, so okay. The Cossacks didn't have leadership maybe as more regular units, so he's in the spirit of the rules, maybe he forgot or just, I don't know. I wouldn't say he cheated, but anyway, those cavalry took some skirmishers and they're harassing my right wing. And he looks like he's seen the guys coming down from Pergushin. So yeah, it's quite a bit. Gradually, we're getting more and more units involved across the board. So my plan is to continue with my plan, do my movement phase, and I'll get back to you with what happens in a little while. Right, so moved everyone around there. What I did in the north end with that cavalry, I've pulled my cavalry back behind this high ground just to act as maybe a little bit of bait. Maybe he thinks, oh, he's running away, or I'm not as strong, I'm a bit afraid or something, and just to bait him into crossing this ground and hopefully disordering, that's the plan anyway, and then up over the high ground. And I don't have a lot of cavalry and they're not great, so to that end, down here I decided to pull pretty much about half of my cavalry under Colbert and Bruyere, and leave the other half here just covering that wide gap. I mean, that wide gap is quite a nice place for cavalry, so potentially there's some cavalry up there, and just to bolster sort of my left centre. I didn't want to take all that cavalry, so I compromised and I will leave the heavies where they are as my reserve. So, and I've got the old guard here, so yeah, I took the risk and I'm going to take half of my cavalry and go up through this Norchest and Strawbennen, and join up with the cavalry up here. So If he has got any more cavalry up there, another cavalry battle will ensue, probably. Move the infantry up as well, sort of swung them a little bit more north, just to cover the, I mean, on this map here, you can see the marshes, it looks almost impassable once you actually go down. Excuse me, I want to stay this side of the river, act as a little bit of as a natural barrier. This is all horse artillery, so there is no big guns yet. So we'll see what happens up there anyway, so that'll be quite interesting to see. And Eylau, I didn't really do anything to move my batteries into position. Better move these guys out of the way. That's what I did last time. So I completely forgot. And move some batteries up into sort of the township itself at the north end, and put some extra skirmishers there for a little bit of protection, just because I'm wary of these guys here. And to that end, I will go. So here, there's some quality troops. Quality troops all round up here, to be honest. There hasn't been many routes, or any that I can think of, really. Just some skirmishers running away from someone somewhere. But that's about it. Everyone's sort of held their ground, Russians included. And they've copped it. As they did again. Not so bad. But yeah, right. Ground battery. What can these guys see? So, let's get in here. And it'll be the same as last time. I'm going to have a go at the infantry, not the guns. He seems to be doing a lot of counter-battery fire, which is to my benefit. Not been that effective. I didn't lose another gun last time. I don't think I did. We'll have a look in a second and see where we're at with numbers. So we're having a go at these guys at the end. Awful lot of counter-battery fire. Right, so these guys at the end are having a crack. Not the best. I mean, the distance isn't doing me any help, any favours here. But it's better against the infantry than it is against the guns. The guns, I mean, I wouldn't be getting much at all. Maybe not as effective as I'd hoped, that's for sure. He hasn't taken them away yet. What we got here? They can see there and there. Hopefully got the range. No. Ah, that's because I unlimbered them that time. Fair enough. We'll go into... Now these guys got fired on. Might just pull them back a little bit. Let me see. Guns can still see them. Yeah, so they're going to go down into the ditch. Out the way. Just give them a bit of protection. These skirmishers still here. Again, there must be quality troops that he sent out. Those are like troops. Jaegers, is it? Or Aegers. They seem to be doing really well. Rather cracking them. And the skirmishers. I mean, if I really wanted to take this Windmill Yard, it is now officially named the Windmill Yard. If I really wanted to take it back, I could, but it won't do anything, and it would just put my troops in full view of that lot. So definitely not top of my list. Artillery down here. Soften up whatever cavalry we can see. Who's he got? Most 100 and 100, so there's quite a few, doesn't matter. Makes no ends. And we'll go along that main road. Nicely done. So can't actually see anyone with that gun, not an issue. Now we do have some cavalry. I sorted out cavalry here, it's a nice place to sort of get themselves back in order. We do have some which is ready to charge, and I'm going to take full opportunity of that. So Maurice, you can go with these dragoons. See what you do. Even Stevens, you're all no. You can charge, as can you two. Have we got a leader there? You can charge. So we'll go with Colonel Anonymous, the very famous family of the era. Nothing. Okay, some Polish Lancers and some Hussars. These have been decent cavalry around here. I completely underestimated them, if I'm honest, and really held their own. I know my units aren't the best, these C-rated Dragoons. Oh, I finally pushed them back. You can't do anything, you can't do anything. I will turn you around for next turn. We can charge with these guys. What are we up against? 180, 200 odds. Milhaw himself, okay, so you will get involved. And you can't. Can anyone come up? Yeah, so these guys can call these into the charge as well. Push them back. So we're not doing too bad here. We are pushing them back. These guys are ready to go, but they can't charge anyone. Yeah, I'm going to leave them where they are. Do I want to clear a space there? No. What we might do is just bring them up here. We're ready to go on the next turn if he keeps them there. Hopefully we can see now. Oh, I moved this gun again. I'm moving it back and forward. I've been so indecisive with it. And each time I keep losing that turn to fire with. And it would have been quite nice now. Yeah, it's annoying, but there we go. You've got to make a choice with it. If it was facing this way, there might have been a chance that it didn't fire on anyone at all. This division here, Goudan's division, I have swung them a little bit more north, just to get these guys around, or meet up with the guys around Zaysen and Rotherham, because they're going to act. I can't have cavalry making up a front line. Down in the south then, with these Cossacks, kept people in squares. I put some more squares, just to disrupt him. That's what he's doing to me, so that's what I intend to do to him. He's done quite a good job with them. Right. Some horse artillery on the same guys. Happy days. Okay, so and my shuttles against the Cossacks down here. He's disordered, so he won't charge. I moved them into town, slow and steady, just because I don't want Cossacks to attack me on the flank. So it's pretty much 1 or 2 hexes at a time. Bring them round, so they are head on, even though they're disordered. And I've had to go through the village. I have to sort of be a little bit careful with these cavalry because I don't have masses of cavalry down this end. What else I got? And I just basically started moving everybody up towards Morvitten, as was the initial plan. These guys here, and who's it? Is it Eylau and his guys? They're going to come on the west side of the wood, whereas keep losing my leadership. Joffrey and the 1st Division are going to come around the east side of the wood. So the plan's all taking shape slowly but surely. Got some routed units here. Oh, it's the cavalry. And the cavalry, we're going to have to start getting them set into position once everybody is sort of taken a position up north of us and cleared all of this area up here. Once this area is clear, this is sort of my staging area where all this battle's taking place now. That's my future staging area for all of these cavalry. That's the plan. Let's hope I can put it off. Alright, so I'll catch you on the next turn. Right, turn 16, and more Prussian cavalry has arrived in the north, and he set up some guns and started to take some pot shots up here at Marchand's division, his 1st Division. So we're going to have a little bit of a battle here, I would have thought. Now, hopefully he's going to come across the river to me, but I would have thought if he's so defensive, this doesn't look defensive to me, but I'd prefer him to come over the river, so it might be a game of cat and mouse for a little while, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens up here. I've hidden that cavalry away there, and I do have that other cavalry here, excuse me, under Colbert coming up just to join them. They're going to go a long way around and hopefully stay as hidden as possible. In the centre in Eylau, there was a bit of action. He tried, this was a juicy target for him, there was only 2 lots of skirmishers and some horse artillery, and he tried with what light troops he had to come and take it. He continued withdrawing all his skirmishers up there, but he did have a go at this target and he came off a lot worse. He lost a hell of a lot more troops than I did. We did lose a gun somewhere here. His artillery was not sporadic, but it certainly wasn't as heavy as the last couple of turns. It was sort of every other gun, every other 3 guns, something like that, maybe half the guns fired, and the end result was we lost a gun. The skirmishers here look like they've routed, so they've gone out of the Windmill graveyard, or the Windmill yard. So we might just nip and take that back just out of spite. But move these troops back out of the way because there they are under the sight of the guns. Cavalry wise, then in the middle or around here. He had to go with his Cossacks and he pushed some dragoons back, but he has sort of gone back and reordered a little bit, and I've got the room to push them back because I've got this trap set with these chasseurs for his flank. We've got some artillery there, so I am going to follow it up because we've got the Murat and his guys following up anyway. And this division, Gudin's division, 3rd division, is actually coming up as well, so we're in a pretty good spot to push these guys back. More messing around with Cossacks down here. Those Cossacks disappeared, unless that's them. I would say so because we had them with artillery last time. Yeah, he moved some Cossacks here to a position. But yeah, that's where we're at. I did say end of last turn, 15, that we'd have a look at victory points. So not doing too bad. He's lost almost double the amount of infantry and 3 times the amount of cavalry so far. I've lost those guns, but I knew that was a risk and I'm not actually targeting his guns. And I've lost a leader. Who's my leader? Info loss, leader casualties, Boyer. Okay, not too bad. Brigadier General. Not the end of the world. So this turn, it's business as usual. Continue pressing north up here and set up a nice position overlooking these Prussians. Now my guns are heavier than his. Oh, okay, say that. Horse artillery and light guns. Just to start getting a defensive position against these Prussians, whilst I don't mind not attacking with this infantry. If they can sit there and take pot shots and he doesn't come near me, I don't mind that, because I need a little bit of time to bring this cavalry around. There's some hussars and some chasseurs and some more chasseurs. So that's the plan up in the north end. Around Eylau, business as usual. I'm going to use my artillery to target some of his troops that are present in the come up with his artillery, and these guys are still going. They took a hammer in last time. There's no leader now. I didn't kill him. That must be that Major General up there. Never mind. So yeah, I'm going to try and get rid of these guys once for all. We've got some horse artillery there. They're going to get both barrels or all 8 guns this time, just to get rid of them. Teach him a little bit of a lesson. Follow up with my cavalry in the centre. So get in a position. Not everyone's ordered. Okay, so we can make a couple of charges. Who have we got here? They're sorting themselves out slowly. Yeah, we can make a couple of charges, continue that swing north on my southern flank. Maybe think about starting to deal with these Cossacks, and yeah, that's it. So I'll get back to you once I have moved what I can move. So then up in the north I've unlimbered some guns, and we can start with this horse artillery to start having a go at any targets that we can see. This was light gun. I think this is a heavy gun there. Didn't have enough to unlimber it. Put out a skirmisher line just south of the river, just to give ourselves a bit of protection. A lot of cavalry there. Hopefully they're going to be dangled out a little bit, and he'll take the bait either up here or up here. But he must know that cavalry's gone there surely. But we'll see. Eylau itself then, I started to move that cavalry there. I'm going to move it up on the road. Where are we? And yeah, in Eylau itself, I unlimbered this horse artillery, and as I said, he is going to get all 8 guns worth. And not much will be left with these troops, surely. So he's still got 40 men. If they are not routed on this turn, then I don't know what it takes to rout them. I really don't. There we go. Who have we got there? We've got these skirmishers and Tiralia. And I'll tell you what, Saul, you get in there and lead that attack on. It's going to be a bit exposed, but let's just get rid of them once and for all. Push them out. They have line of sight on them. No, not to worry. Might be worth actually just bringing that gun forward. It's not much use where it is. Usual fare then. Having to go infantry with our artillery. Play the long game with this and hopefully just chip away his numbers, chip away his morale, his fatigue. And yeah, that's the plan here. I do get an awful lot of counter fire with those guns. I've got no, there's not much else I can do, to be honest. What you have done differently, to be honest, in this situation. Not with all these guns. It's just too many. It's too many. The only positive thing, what did I say? We lost 8 guns in total. I'd take that any day. And until I start losing loads, or my ammo gets critical, yeah, I think that's going to happen anytime soon. This is going to be the order of the day around Eylau. Not much is going to change. Nobody's moving from Eylau. We'll get these guns up here as well. Nobody's moving from Eylau unless he attacks, but they are all staying where they are because everything hinges on this southern flank until these boys actually get up and catch up. So around here we do have some guys that are ready for the charge, including these guys here. So they're Cossacks. We're going to have a crack at them on the charge. Just about only one. And one of us. Never mind. Okay, strange. Milho himself, you're going to get involved and yeah, get up there. High ground, but oh, still on the charge though. Okay, I think that took some of our momentum when we bumped into those guys. Never mind, not the end of the world. So nice cavalry skirmishing going on. I don't want to push too... what should have done? Artillery, soften up whoever they can see. I think they can only see these guys anyway. They're behind infantry, so we'll get them up to the top of the stack. And... mistake. I should have moved the infantry down rather than the artillery up because it's counted as movement points. Serves me right for getting excited. There we go. Alright, who else do we have down here? You guys are good to go. Like I say, I'll be a little bit liberal in this cavalry. Just because I've got the guard cavalry and Murat coming up with most of the reserve cavalry. I've got a nice trap set along here, covered by gun. Yeah, so it's not too bad all in all down here. You can charge. I wonder if you'll make it. I wonder if you've got the legs. Oh dear, but he sacrificed himself. Never mind. It was worth it. Push those Cossacks back. I suppose we could start following up. No, we'll leave them there. So yeah, move these guys. Continue and go north. Can this gun see anybody? No, but it is in a nice prime spot. We've got some cavalry there. Do I? Don't I? No, it's a bit too close to those guns. I'd say we're out of range of those guns because unless they are horse artillery, so I thought he'd fire. Yeah, last time he moved them round, but he didn't fire. So whether he forgot or they don't have the range, either or is good. Artillery on the southern flank then. Have a go at some more Cossacks. I swear Cossacks multiply. I swear they just get more and more. There we go. But the Russians did have a lot of them. I'm not going to do anything with these guys, although I will bring them up just next to them, just to face off, really, and show a little bit of muscle. Now, I will move these guys around, because if those Cossacks are still there next time, there's going to be a charge. I'm going to try and get rid of these bloody pests. And I think that's about all I can do on this turn, or all I want to do. So carrying on with the southern flank, Eylau not really going to change much in the centre there, and get these cavalry round to join up with the other cavalry and meet the Prussians man for man. And we do have some skirmishers, some Prussian skirmishers. So is he pushing forward? I hope not. We're pretty strong there, to be honest. We've got a lot of guys around here at this wind cloth mill, and we do have some cavalry there as well, and it's rough going. So there isn't a gap there. There's Prussians there. Alright, anyway, I'll send this over to him and then get back to you when he sends it back.